What's up, everyone? I just want to say thank you for joining me for Cooking Up Positivity with me, Kendall Kee. So today we are going to be making some chicken enchiladas with some homemade red sauce. We're also going to be looking at some positive quotes, maybe some scripture that has spoken to me over the past week, because I have definitely gone through my share of troubles. I go through my struggles. I go through those times when I actually just need something to uplift my spirit, to uplift my mentality. And I'm pretty sure you could use some positivity in your life as well. So let's get started. For the enchilada sauce, we are going to be making it homemade from scratch. So for the sauce, we are going to be using 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to be using 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of chili powder. We got 2 cups of water, 3 ounces of tomato paste, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, half a tablespoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a little bit of salt just to give it some flavor. So we're going to start out by adding our olive oil, the chili powder, and the flour all together. Just like that. And we need to get a whisk. So once it starts to clump, we're going to start adding in the water. Oh yeah. So this is my first time actually making this sauce, so we're gonna see how it comes out. All right, we're gonna add in the tomato paste. Basically add in all the other ingredients except for the salt. We'll save the salt for last. I'll tell you one thing though, it does smell really good right now. And as that's getting ready, we're gonna go ahead and start out with our first quote of this session. So earlier I came across on Facebook a little quote that said, sometimes God will place a Goliath in your life so you could find the David within yourself. And that spoke to me. That spoke to me because lately I've been kind of struggling with, insomnia. I've been having trouble sleeping, I've had some stress in my life, and this doesn't have to reflect straightly for that, because it's like, throughout my life, and I know throughout your life, you have gone through adversities. You've always gone through adversities in your life and you don't understand why, or what you can do to get out of it. At times it feels like there's no way out of it, but I love this one. I love this one because it talks about David and Goliath. And y'all already know the story. Y'all already know the story when it comes to David and Goliath. What David did is he threw those stones at the Goliath, at this giant. Here he is, a little shepherd boy, and yet he took down this giant. You know what? I don't know what kind of giants you got placed in your life right now, but have faith and hold tight, because I know that you will get through it. I know that you will see the other side of it. You will take down that giant, and you know what? Life is going to be so beautiful, and you're going to understand why, because you have to find that inner strength within yourself. I think these obstacles, these adversities are placed in our life for a reason, because we need to learn something during that moment, during that season of our life. But that's all it is a season in our life. Our sauce is smelling hella good right now. Look at all that bubbling. So now we're gonna go ahead and add in the salt. Oh yeah, look at that consistency, nice and thick, ready for the enchiladas. Once you add in the salt, we're gonna go ahead and set it off to the side, and we're gonna begin building our enchiladas. All right, so for our enchiladas themselves, we're gonna be using 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1.5 cups of pico de gallo, 1 pound of shredded chicken, 1/4 cup of taco seasoning, some low carb flour tortillas, and 1.5 cup of some shredded cheese. So now we're gonna start working on our chicken and all that good stuff. Gonna go ahead and place the oil in here. Go ahead and wait for it to get hot before we do anything else. So in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and start out with our second quote for this evening. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across a little saying, and you know, it really touched my heart. Like, and I believe all of y'all can relate to this because we all know heartbreak. We all know how grieving feels. We all know that feeling when we lose someone that we love. You know, like they've gone on to a better place. And sometimes it's the most difficult thing in the world. And I think during times like that, it brings up a lot of misunderstanding or no understanding at all. Because it's like, why? This person was such an amazing person. Like, why did they leave? Like, what? You know, it doesn't make any sense. But then during those times, it's very confusing. It's very confusing, and it's like, how do you move on with your life? How do you continue to live day in and day out? Especially if that person was a huge part of your life. You know, it makes it very difficult. But I came across this one and it went on to saying, my mind still talks to you and my heart still looks for you, but my soul knows you're at peace. And this one was just really touched my heart, because it's like, I know all those feelings. I know how much it hurts to lose somebody in your life that you care for deeply, you know. For me, it was like my mother. My mother was my rock. She was my everything. And it's like, there's so many times in my life right now that I wish I could just give her a call and just be like, you know, this is going on in my life and I don't know how to navigate it. Or just to tell her about all the victories that have been happening in my life. You know, like, this is going on, this is happening, you know. It's like, who do I share that excitement with? You know, I truly do feel like the most significant people in my life have gone, they have left. But just like this saying says, I know deep down that they are at peace. And you know what? Just knowing that brings me peace. I believe that their spirit never truly leaves. Like, you know, the memories, and that they're always with me, that they're always watching down on me, you know. And I guarantee you, like, most times they're shaking my head at the things that I do. You know, I guarantee you, like, there's plenty of times when they're up there shaking their head like, yeah, you know, that's my best friend, or that's my son. In that very same aspect, I know that you know heartbreak. You know how much it hurts, it stings, that darkness that overcomes when you lose somebody significant in your life. But I just want you to know and have that faith that they are up there in a better place, at peace. And at times, best believe they're shaking their heads at you too about all the choices you made, the things you say. You know, I hope you find some comfort in that, because I do. And I love this one because this one hit me out of nowhere. And yeah, it stung just like it did right now. All right, now that we got our oil nice and hot, we're gonna go ahead and throw in the pico. Oh yeah, gotta love that sizzle. You know, it's like, I've always begun learning how to cook, but I am enjoying it because it's like you get to mix and match whatever it is that you like. You get to throw it all together and see how it comes out. In most cases, it comes out delicious because you're adding ingredients that you enjoy, ingredients that you like. You know, there have been a couple of times when I've actually thrown in some things and I'm like, all right, that was not a good idea. All right, next up, we're gonna throw in our chicken. We're gonna throw in some taco seasoning. And that's smelling good, I'll tell you that. So the chicken I'm using is actually fully cooked already. So we're gonna be throwing it in the oven anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and wait right here. Man, I'm so excited about these enchiladas. They smell really good. So right now we're gonna start building them, and yeah, that's kind of the fun part, also the messy part, but we're gonna have fun doing it. All right, so before we get started building our enchiladas, don't forget to preheat your oven. Set it at 350 because you're gonna want that ready by the time you get your enchiladas ready. And again, this part is fun. This part is the fun part. All right, so we got our tortillas, we got our homemade red enchilada sauce, we've got our yummy, delicious chicken packed with pico de gallo, some seasoning in there, and we've got some shredded chicken. All right, let's begin. So basically all you wanna do is just go ahead and get some enchilada sauce all up in here. And go ahead and get some of this delicious chicken that we just made. Toss it all up in here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all, this smells so good. We're gonna get some cheese. Be careful not to overstuff it because it won't be able to roll. And I feel like I did that right now. All right, it's the first one. It's the first one. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right. But man, yeah, basically we're just gonna go ahead and line up the pan. And I'll tell y'all one thing, you know, again, like I said, I enjoy cooking. I'm barely learning how. So I've been going through some recipes and it's like, I'm still learning what I like and what I don't like. And I know I like enchiladas. Like I love Mexican food. Anything that's spicy, I'll enjoy. You know, that's my personal taste right there. One of the reasons behind creating this show is simply because I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking and I wanted to do something that would help others, you know, during their time. You know, just have a little bit of fun. Have a little bit of fun, enjoy some good food, because for me, food is, man, I enjoy eating. I don't know about y'all, but yo, food is good. Food makes us, we need food, but most of all, we need some good food. We also need some good healthy food in our lives, and that's what I try to do. I try to incorporate, you know, how can I make this, you know, low carb? How can I make this, you know, packed with protein, etc., etc. And for me, this one has a hole in it. I'm gonna still use it. But for me, a little backstory about myself is I am a recovering meth addict. I am a recovering meth addict, and so far I have a little over 3 years clean and sober. So that's why I say, like, I'm still finding out the things that I like, the things that I don't like, whether it be, you know, activities to pass my time, because, you know, what do I do in my free time? Well, before, there was nothing but getting high, looking for the next fix, all of that. But now, I have to switch that up and find things that are productive, find things that can help keep me sober, but yet still be enjoyable for me. One of the things that I enjoy is hiking. You know, I love hiking, I love hitting the trails, and for me, it's kind of like a time of reflection. It's a time of reflection of when I get to reflect about how far I've actually come, you know. And I count my blessings every day. I really do. You know, even during the struggles, and it's like, I do have my struggles. I do have my struggles, and at times it's like, I find it's hard to voice those struggles. I, you know, do my best to encourage, to help motivate, to help, you know, help shine some light inside someone else's darkness. You know, I'm gonna start using my hands with this. You know, my hands are clean, by the way. I do wash my hands. I do my best to brighten up other people's days on their journey and their walk, whether it be with, you know, their faith in recovery. And again, you know, at times I do have my struggles. It's not all rainbows and butterflies and sunshine day in and day out. No, I still get haunted by the demons that I left behind, by the struggles that I've left buried, by the hurts, the habits, and the hangups that I have not yet fully addressed, you know? So when I'm hiking, you know, that's a time for me to reflect, especially about my progress. And I'm so fortunate and I am so blessed I have an opportunity to actually go out to like Walmart, Sam's Club, wherever it may be, to go buy some ingredients because I feel like making enchiladas this evening. I feel like sharing this with all of you. You know, there's so many blessings day in and day out that I feel like get overlooked. And I think those are the most important ones. You know, we tend to forget about how fortunate we are, you know, if we have a roof over our heads. You know, there have been plenty of times when I didn't even have the option to take a shower. You know, being on the streets of Phoenix, it was rough. It was rough. And in so many ways, being out on the streets of Phoenix and living that lifestyle has changed my perspective of what blessings look like. And I think, like, you know, for me personally, someone that has never gone through that, someone that has never lived a life of homelessness, they'll never understand how truly blessed they truly are to be able to have a pair of keys to open their front door, to lay their head in a bed every single night. And it's like, you know, these are things that we take for granted. And truth be told, my 3 years of sobriety, I believe I've taken that for granted at times. When I'm hiking, I like to get back to my roots and just reflect, especially if I'm hiking here in the city. I love to look over the city and just see, like, you know what, this city, I was lost out there. In this city, in that area, I remember walking those streets day in and day out and just hopeless and everything else in between. It is like, I don't know, being able to reflect keeps me grounded. It keeps me grounded, but also, you know, some positivity in my life. You know, I thank God, you know, I'm so fortunate. And I also pray for those who are still in the shoes that I was wearing in those streets. I pray for the individuals who are still struggling, you know, whether it be their mental health, substance abuse, divorces, heartbreak, whatever it may be. Just know that I'll be up there on top of the mountain praying for each and every single one of your hurts, each and every single one of your pains, and all those habits that you are trying to break. I'll be up there praying for them, for you, that you see that side, that you get to see the light, because I know you will. And again, you know, this is Cooking Up Positivity with me, Kendall Kee. Man, look at this. Hey, there's our oven. Our oven is ready. Like I said, make sure you preheat your oven because, you know, once you're done with this, you want that to be ready. The sooner you pop this in there, the quicker time will go and the quicker you get to enjoy these bad boys. All right, so now we got our enchiladas all up in here, looking good. So now we're just basically gonna dump it, kill our enchilada sauce, pour it all over it, get these soaked, and we're gonna throw some cheese right on top of it, all right? Yo, I cannot believe we made homemade enchilada sauce. Oh yeah, I like this. I ain't gonna lie, like. Oh yeah, all right, so we got that looking good. Gonna throw some cheese on this. Throw some cheese on that enchilada. Yeah. I don't know, anytime you go to a restaurant and you get the enchiladas, I think what feeds your eyes is when you see the cheese melting when you're splitting them apart. But we're trying to go with low carb and all that, so we're only using 1.5 cups of cheese, all right? Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right. So now we're gonna throw these in the oven, all right? I know by now y'all gotta be hungry because I'm hungry. All this good smelling food, whoo! But while that's cooking in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and talk about another quote right now, right? All right, going off of kind of what we were just talking about, the last quote, this one goes on to saying, faith is continuing to persist without knowing how long you will need to hold on. It makes sense. It truly does. You know, during those struggles, I don't know how long it's gonna be like that. Like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be worrying about work. I don't know how long I'm gonna be worrying about how am I gonna pay my bills, etc., etc. You know, there's all these things, so much happening in life, and it's just like, when are things gonna get better? Like, when? It's that faith of just knowing that one day That moment will come when there's that light in the darkness. That day will come when everything just smooths out. That storm that we are currently going through, that we're trying to navigate, that storm will be blown over. And that's one thing that I love about life is, you know, there's different seasons. There's seasons for growing, there's seasons of heartbreak, there's seasons of triumphs and victories. In so many ways, these seasons come into our lives with a purpose. And it's just kind of how we choose to handle it. We can be proactive or we could be reactive. And I believe like when we're reactive, that's when we allow our emotions to take hold and distort our perception of everything. We catastrophize everything. But if we're proactive, we can navigate it. We can make the decisions that we need to choose to be happy during those moments. We can make the choices that we need to be able to get out of those situations, to switch it up. I don't know what season of your life you're currently facing, but I know that if you keep holding on, have that faith, you will see the better days, because better days are right around the corner. Trust and believe. Believe. You gotta believe your food will look good, will smell good, will taste good. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Oh yes, look at this. Man. Oh yeah. Yep, we made that. We made that. But yes, after you get your enchiladas done, you can always pair it with any type of rice, whatever you want for your fixins, for your sides. You know, some refried beans is always classic. Me, I chose to go with some cauliflower rice. I'm gonna throw some, paste, like the salsa. I'm gonna throw that in there, give it a little bit of flavor. And I also got some refried black beans. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it looks like. But right now, let's go ahead and talk about the last quote for this evening. One thing that has definitely got me through a lot of struggles and a lot of hurt is that self-love. And self-love keeps me going because it's like, I need to take care of myself. I need to show some love to myself, just like you need to do the same. So when I came across this next quote, it brightened up my day because it says, accept yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward. If you want to fly, you have to give up the weights that are holding you down. And that is so true. What is holding you down? What are you allowing to keep holding you down when you are meant to fly? You are meant to soar with the eagles. What is holding you down? What are you allowing in your life to continue to weigh you down? And so many times, that's the hardest part, is being able to identify what it is that is truly holding us down. It could be the trauma, it could be the hurt, it could be the pain from the past. In most cases, it is the past. Demons from our past tend to be the ones that we allow to continue to hold us back, to continue to keep us grounded when we should be up there flying. We are meant to do so much. We are meant for so much more. And I just want to remind you of that. You are made for so much more. You deserve all the love. You deserve all the goodness in the world. Don't ever believe the lie that you do not deserve to be loved or you are not worthy of accomplishing A, B, and C, because you are. And I know that one day, if you keep being persistent, you keep having that faith, you keep fighting through those battles, those seasons, you will see that day. You will be up there flying. And it's going to be so beautiful. You are going to be so blessed because in all reality, you already are blessed. So once again, I chose to pair these beautifully homemade enchiladas with some refried black beans, got some cheese up on top, got some cauliflower rice with a splash of some salsa to give it some flavor. Oh yeah, no matter what y'all pair it with, y'all already know these enchiladas are gonna be absolutely amazing. All right, so now that dinner is set, ain't nothing left to do but to enjoy it. So I just want to say thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Kendall Kee, but just remember, a little positivity can make life taste so good. Have a good one.